Hello and welcome to My Daily Trivia. I'm your host, Danny. Today is Monday, September 11th, and I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope your Monday is off to a good start. Now, if this is your first time listening, I of course want to say welcome. Welcome to the show. My Daily Trivia is a 10-round quiz show with no specific themes, topics, or categories. We do, however, have a new episode every day, Monday through Friday. That's right, every day of the week. Each day gets progressively harder. So, of course, today is Monday, which means that today will be the easiest day of the week. However, as always, if you find this episode to be a bit too challenging for your level, well, I encourage you to listen to it anyway. As a matter of fact, I actually encourage you to listen to every day of the week. You never know, you might surprise yourself. You might know the answer to some tough questions, and even if you don't, you might learn something along the way. If, however, you find today to be a bit too simple, well, tune in tomorrow on Tuesday, where we are going to make it a little bit harder. So, without any further delay, let's get into today's round of questions with question number 1. What is the name of the cartoon character that lives in a pineapple under the sea and works at the Krusty Krab? And of course, that cartoon character is named SpongeBob. SpongeBob was created and designed by Steven Hillenburg, an artist and marine science educator. The character's name is derived from Bob the Sponge, the host of Hillenburg's unpublished educational book called The Intertidal Zone. He actually drew the book while teaching marine biology to visitors of the Ocean Institute during the late 1980s. SpongeBob's first appearance was in the pilot called Help Wanted, which actually premiered on May 1st in 1999. The character has garnered a positive response from media critics and is frequently named as one of the greatest cartoon characters of all time. I personally probably would list SpongeBob SquarePants as my favorite cartoon from when I was a kid. So once again, the cartoon character that lives in a pineapple under the sea and works at the Krusty Krab, that is, of course, SpongeBob SquarePants. Moving on to question number 2. What type of watercraft is specifically designed to operate underwater and can travel both on the surface and submerged? And that watercraft is called a submarine. A submarine, or simply just a sub, is a watercraft capable of independent operation underwater. Although experimental submarines had been built earlier, submarine design really took off in the 19th century, and they were actually adopted by several navies. They were first widely used during World War I and are now used in many navies, large and small. Now, a fun fact about submarines is that the furthest dive completed by a submarine in feet was 35,858 feet. That's roughly equivalent to about 10,000 meters. So once again, that watercraft, that is called a submarine. Moving on to question number 3. Which popular streaming platform is known for producing original shows like The Crown and Black Mirror? And that streaming platform is Netflix. Netflix originals are content that is produced, co-produced, or distributed exclusively by Netflix. Netflix funds its original shows differently than other TV networks when they sign a project, providing the money upfront and immediately ordering 2 seasons of most series, and keeping more future revenue opportunities from possible syndication, merchandising on commercially successful series. The Netflix budget allocated to produce increased annually, reaching about $13.5 billion in 2021, and is actually projected to hit about $19 billion by 2025, a figure that once again actually overshadows many of its competitors. So, once again, that popular streaming Netflix with the original shows is called Netflix. Question number 4. Who is the fictional pirate character portrayed by Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean film series? And that pirate is Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow is a fictional character and the main protagonist of the Pirates of the Caribbean film series and franchise. In the films, Sparrow can be treacherous and survives mostly by using wit and negotiation rather than by force, opting to flee most dangerous situations and to fight only when necessary. The characterization of Sparrow is based on a combination of the Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards and Looney Tunes cartoons, specifically the character of Bugs Bunny and Pepe Le Pew, which is funny to me because once you hear that, you can actually kind of picture it, thinking back to the movies with Jack Sparrow. But once again, that character, that's the main pirate character from Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Jack Sparrow. Moving on to question number 5. What country is the Great Barrier Reef located in? And the Great Barrier Reef is located next to Australia. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system, composed of over 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands, stretching for over 1,400 miles or 2,300 kilometers. That makes up an area of approximately 345,000 square kilometers, which is about equivalent to 130,000 square miles. The reef is located in the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland, Australia. The Great Barrier Reef can be seen from outer space and is the world's biggest single structure made by living organisms. Now, fun fact, a study was conducted by the Australian Institute of Marine Science, and they found that in 2022, the reef exhibited the greatest recovery in 36 years, which makes me quite happy to hear because I feel like for most of my lifetime, it was always being said that the Great Barrier Reef was, in fact, dying and shrinking. So I'm happy to hear that last year in 2022, it saw some good recovery. Question number 6. Which fictional city is the home of Batman? And that city is, of course, Gotham City. Gotham City is a fictional city appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics, best known as the home of the superhero Batman, or Bruce Wayne, and his allies and foes. Gotham City is traditionally depicted as being located in the U.S. state of New Jersey, which is quite interesting. Actually, I did not know that tidbit. Gotham's look and atmosphere was primarily influenced by New York City. In Jim Steranko's History of the Comics, writer Bill Finger, on naming of the city, he actually said that, quote, "Originally, I was going to call Gotham City Civic City. Then I tried Capital City, then Coast City. Then I flipped through the New York City phone book and spotted the name Gotham Jewelers and said, that's it. It's going to be Gotham City." So once again, Gotham City is the fictional city and is the home of Batman. Question number 7. Which planet is closest to the sun? And that planet is Mercury. Mercury is the first planet from the sun and the smallest planet in the solar system. It is a terrestrial planet with a heavily cratered surface due to the planet having no geological activity and an extremely tenuous atmosphere. Now, despite being the smallest planet in the solar system, with an average diameter of about 3,000 miles or about 5,000 kilometers, which, by the way, is equivalent to about 38% that of Earth, Mercury is actually dense enough to have roughly the same surface gravity as Mars. So, despite its small size, it's incredibly dense. It's about the same gravity as Mars. And, of course, it is the closest to the Sun. Moving on to question number 8. What vegetable is said to help you see in the dark? And that vegetable, of course, is carrots. Now, this is actually true. Carrots are actually rich in a compound called beta carotene, which your body uses to make a form of vitamin A that helps your eyes adjust in the dark. Beta carotene is found in many vegetables. It is the nutrient that gives yellow, orange, and red fruits their color. Fruits and vegetables, that is. Now, this of course includes carrots, but it's not just carrots, it's also cantaloupes, apricots, sweet potatoes, mangoes, pumpkins, and papayas. However, this helps to improve eyesight. This doesn't actually make you see in the dark, which is, I think, where the miscommunication was. Now, the reason for the myth, and I've actually heard this before, it actually exists because in World War II, British pilots had radar. And in order to protect that secret that they had radar from their enemies, from the Nazis, the Ministry of Information created a rumor, created a myth that their best pilots ate carrots every day, which helped them see in the dark and helped them shoot down enemy planes. So it wasn't actually the radar, it was the carrots that was doing it. And from this sprang the myth that carrots help you see in the dark. But, of course, it is in fact true that they can help your eyes adjust. Moving on to question number 9. Which U.S. state is the largest in landmass? The U.S. largest state is Alaska. It's actually Alaska by a lot. In fact, the 10 largest states in the United States, ranked by total area, are Alaska, Texas, California, Montana, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, Oregon, and Wyoming. Alaska, like I said, is the largest state. It covers a massive 665,000 square miles. Alaska is about 1/5 the size of the entire lower 48. In fact, if you combine Texas, California, and Montana, so the next 3 largest states, it would still be less than the size of Alaska. From east to west, Alaska measures about 2,500 miles, which is just about the distance from Savannah, Georgia to Santa Barbara, California. Now that's the Atlantic coast of the United States to the Pacific coast of the United States. That's how big Alaska truly is. And for that reason, it is the largest U.S. state. Moving on to our final question of the day. Question number 10. How many days are in a leap year? And the answer there is 366 days. It's one extra day, not 365, it's 366. A leap year, which is also known as an intercalary year or a bisextile year, is a calendar year that contains an additional day added to keep the calendar year synchronized with the astronomical year or the seasonal year. By inserting an additional day, a leap day, or month into some years, the drift between a civilization's dating system and the physical properties of the solar system can be corrected. There's a leap year approximately every 4 years, with the next one occurring in 2024, which means that in 2024, there will actually be a February 29th. So, next February, we'll have an extra day that only occurs every 4 years. So this also means that there will be babies born on that extra day. In fact, babies born on that day only have their birthday every 4 years. So for some simple examples, if you were born on February 29th in 1996, you would of course be 26 years old, but you would have only celebrated 6 birthdays, which means that your 7th birthday would be coming up this year, which is kind of exciting. I'm sure there's some people out there that are excited to celebrate their 7th birthday coming up in February. And to those of you, I say happy birthday, happy early birthday. So that will conclude this round of My Daily Trivia. If you found this round to be a bit too simple, well, check in tomorrow. We're going to make it a little bit harder. And of course, if you found this round to be a bit challenging for your taste, I encourage you to check in tomorrow anyway. In fact, I think you should listen to every day of the week. We always try to have fun. Always try to keep a little bit of different variety, so you might know some answers to some questions. As always, we encourage you to tell your friends, tell your family about our show. We're trying to grow the community here at My Daily Trivia. I want to thank each of you again for listening to My Daily Trivia. Once again, I'm your host, Danny, and I will see all of you tomorrow.